Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Super Mario Galaxy Part 5. Real quick, I'm going to go ahead and... I'm going to do something real quick. The good news is you guys don't have to see a black screen anytime I go to do something this time, because it's not Project 64, and Project 64 is not going to be weird. Fellas, welcome back to another episode of Super Mario Galaxy Part 5. In the last episode, we pretty much finished off everything that we had to do in the Terrace Dome over in, what is it? Good Egg Galaxy. Or not Good Egg Galaxy. Oh, we finished everything we had to do in the Terrace Dome. Okay, let's get that train of thought going. Listen, I'm a little thrown off. I was very much planned and set to do some more recording for this series yesterday, and I didn't do any recording. Reason being, I got caught up in hanging out with friends, which honestly, if there's going to be any reason that I'm going to have to tell you guys why I didn't, get around to doing that stuff, that's probably one of the best reasons. I think overall I am perfectly fine with the fact that I didn't really get to record because of that, but, it feels good to be back on the recording stuff with it nonetheless, because as I've told you guys before, I sense that this is going to be a very friendly Let's Play to me being able to just banter to you guys, and that is, honestly, dude, I think my favorite games that I'm going to get to Let's Play on this channel are games that I really enjoy, but games that don't require me to use my entire brain power. Right? I think those are always, to me, I just had a feeling it was going to happen. Games like this where they're going to have tough moments where maybe I got to focus up for a second, but, most of the time the situation is more or less going to be a thing of like, you just kind of ramble over some gameplay that I have to half focus on, right? That's kind of what this Let's Play is going to be, and those are going to be my favorite types of Let's Plays to do. I was feeling like that about Mario 64 up until the 100 coin stars. DK64, truth be told, it was a Let's Play I very much enjoyed doing, but it was not a friendly banter sort of game. I think unless if I played that game, so many times. Here, I'm going to have to, yeah, that's a janky way of doing it. We're in Space Junk Galaxy, by the way. If you don't remember, I think I talked about what the name of this dome is in the last episode, but we are now in the Fountain Dome. Very pretty dome, all things considered. I feel like my controls are slightly delayed. Are they? Hold on. No, that's probably just my normal capture card delay, and I just... For some reason, dude, the one day I take off of recording, it's like all of a sudden, it's foreign to me. I will say, I think my, per usual, my motion controls have to be a little weird. They're never weird enough to the point where they don't function perfectly fine, but they're weird enough where I'm like, huh, okay, that's different and weird, right? That's kind of the way it is, fellas. Hope you all are doing well. I have been, I gotta tell you, after I got all of the videos scheduled in this series, so far, the first 4 parts, I have just been feeling increasingly excited about the fact that, hey, by the time episode 7's out, it's going to be, the episode 7 should be coming out on April 2nd. If I don't really, kind of get caught up in taking a little break, which, knowing me could very much be a thing, but I don't think that's going to be the case, but episode 7 should come out on April 2nd, and, that's, I talked about this a little bit, but, that's going to be when the Switch 2 Direct is, and I am very excited to have that video be up and be like, hey guys, me from the past, what happened on the Switch 2 Direct? And then several episodes of the series later, we'll get to, kind of figure out what happened, and I'll probably be rambling about that for God knows how long, because I'm just, when it comes to anything Nintendo, man, and I think you guys will notice this, a lot of the Let's Plays that I'm going to do on this channel that are, from the big 3 in terms of, Sony, Microsoft, and Nintendo, 99% of the time it's going to be Nintendo, and I think it's just because of a couple different factors. This is maybe something I've touched on before, but I think one part of it is that Nintendo has just kind of always been my bread and butter since I was a kid. I think, for a lot of people that was the thing, because I think, I always understood people who got into PlayStation. Xbox was a little bit of a deeper cut. I feel like you had to be a little older to get into, like, maybe the original Xbox or the 360 or something like that. You had to be a little older, I noticed. It was always the older kids that got into that. But if you were, like, a kid, you could get into a PS2. We had a PS2, and it was great. I know we, I don't know, man. I remember playing Kingdom Hearts 1, and it was a good time, dude. All around. Oh, this is kind of important. Fellas, we're going to do something a little huge here. So you may notice, I don't know if Rosalina is going to talk about this at all. Will she? Yeah, so there are these new things now that we have called prankster comments. Now, there's going to be quite a few of these in the game, but what it does is it basically has you go through mainly like a different type of star that you've already done before in a galaxy that, you're already familiar with, and it has you do a unique challenge-based thing with it. We're going to see quite a few of those over the course of this Let's Play, but we're actually going to go back here to the Terrace Dome real quick because we have our first one ever, which is a speedy comet for Good Egg Galaxy. We have a speedy comet for Good Egg Galaxy, and what the speedy comet essentially does is it basically requires you to do a certain star from that galaxy within a certain time limit. So we have to do the Dino Piranha one that we did from, I don't know if we did this episode 2, I believe. Yeah, we did this episode 2. We have to do this star within a certain time frame. We were basically doing speed runs. I don't know. We have 4 minutes to do it, which shouldn't be horrible, I want to say. I mean, I don't recall, honestly, any of the, I don't recall any of the speedy comets necessarily being anything too difficult. There is a certain type of comet that I do think is going to be kind of a doozy, but of course we will cross that and get there when we bridge. I wouldn't really worry about it too much right now, but yeah, for a first introduction, man, if they're going to do anything, I mean, of course I imagine to some maybe it's a little daunting because if you're not really much of a speedrun person, you're going to look at having to do these in 4 minutes and be like, oh, and I'm sure as a kid, dude, I probably freaked out over these, like, speedy comments and just all the prankster comments in general because they all have their quirks, right? I think later game speedy comments do get a little hectic. They do get a little hectic. I kind of just realized I can't really be doing all this, like, going for everything sort of ordeal. I can't really be doing that because we're on a speedy comment. Oh, no, we have 3 minutes, guys. Yeah, okay. So, yeah, I would say when you're doing this is a weird decision, but it worked. That's what matters. It worked. When you're doing a speedy comment, man, you're not as focused on, getting a bunch of star bits around you. You're just kind of like, you're going with the flow and you're sort of doing, what you're supposed to do. Sorry, my brain completely shut off, including doing any inputs that I had to do. That's crazy. But it's fine. This is not the star that I was expecting to be doing. I was expecting to be staying into the Fountain Dome for today. I mean, we definitely will have time for another star or two, for sure. Maybe even 2, if the next Space Junk Galaxy star isn't that bad. It may be that bad, though. I really don't know. I'm starting to think, by the way, that the average... I'm starting to think more or less that the star count we're probably going to be encountering more or less during every episode. It's going to be more like 3 or 4. I had my calculation, what was it, during episode 3 or 4 on, like, how long would the Let's Play take if I got 4 stars every episode? And it would be 30 episodes, which would actually be shorter than Donkey Kong 64, but... I think also something worth taking into consideration as to why that might be able to happen is because I am so much more familiar with the linear intricacies of this game compared to Donkey Kong 64. Despite the fact that Donkey Kong 64 is, just such a game that I hold near and dear to my heart, it's ultimately, it's going to immediately, this game's immediately going to be easier because of the fact that it's, number one, so much more of a linear game, so even if I wasn't as familiar with it, I think, again, it would still maybe even take quicker because it's just so much more linear. There we go, star 14. Can't believe we're already 14 stars in on episode 5. That's kind of Crazy. Okay, so that's going to do it for the fountain, or not the fountain. God, I am all over the place today. That's going to do it for the terrace stuff. We are going to, I think, have to come back there and do some more comments, obviously. But for now, we can come on back here to the Fountain Dome and continue the main story progress that we had going on. But yeah, fellas, hope you all are doing well. I have been making it a habit during the beginning of this Let's Play. Not gonna lie to you, ever since the beginning of this Let's Play, I have made it a habit to work a lot on, you know, taking a nice calming walk before, before I do these episodes. You know, clear the head a little bit. I think it's very, very important for me. I've always really enjoyed doing walks. I really fell out of love with it for a while, but, you know, within recent memory, man, it's been really coming back to me. This year, especially. I think this year has been kind of really the big capstone for it. I told you guys I've had some stuff going on, which, of course, I'm not going to elaborate about in these videos, but, you know, they've been situations that have encouraged change, right? And encouraged just a lovely mindset with stuff. You know, I've always been kind of a house dweller, if you will, and I feel like switching over to being someone who just enjoys nature, love nature. It's a beautiful day outside today, by the way. It's not the rainy day that it was, a couple episodes ago during DK64. I actually do want to see. We're gonna do a little exploration just to, really pad out the time. Do they have anything up here? I really just want to explore this to really feel explorative. Listen, you gotta get your explorative kick where you can for a game that's a lot more linear like this. This ain't no Mario 64 or anything, but this is definitely one of those games where I think it's linear, but it doesn't feel incredibly linear, if that makes sense. I really don't know how to put that. Does this give star bits? It sure does. Yeah, I can't stop myself from collecting star bits, dude. I mean, it's satisfying. I don't know what way to put it. And I feel like some of you guys might end up getting a little annoyed by the fact that I like to just collect every little star bit under the sun, but it's satisfying for my brain, okay? Plus, it's going to leave you guys... That's not what I was aiming for. Okay. It'll leave you guys in more suspense for the, how much we'll get to do during certain episodes and whatnot. But, yeah, this is actually going to be a little bit of a boss battle area. I think there's actually a cool little underground area that we can explore here in a minute. But, fellas, I also got to tell you, Nintendo Music stuff. I've been talking about Nintendo Music every once in a while ever since the service launched during God knows what Let's Play it was. I don't really remember fully. All right, you know what? Because I failed that, I'm just going to go ahead and do this quirky little thing. Look at all these star bits, dude. You expect me not to pick these up? I mean, do you honestly, right? Do you honestly expect me not to pick these up? They're just right there. They're waiting for me, bro. But Nintendo Music, they didn't release a new soundtrack yesterday, but they released a spring playlist. Since we're pretty much, I think it's March something when spring's supposed to cross over, but we are pretty much in spring territory now. And man, I gotta tell you what a great playlist for it. It's very I love spring weather and early spring weather and then fall weather. Those, to me, are the ideal temperatures because they're not too hot, they're not too cold, they're just right in the middle where you don't feel like you're going to... You know that thing that happens when you're, walking out in cold weather for a long time where your nose starts running? I hate that. But then also, I just simultaneously hate sweating a bunch. That's not exactly the most fun experience either. Hey, that wasn't very nice. You shouldn't have done that. That was sick. I didn't even have to land. Listen, if you just get the right alignment, man. If you get the right alignment, you are chilling. Give me the star bits. I want them. Listen, if I get to be my little collector self... Oh, wait, I want that. Yeah, I forgot that you can't really... I forgot. She alternates. Oops. Oh, well, never mind. She doesn't alternate. I lied to you. That's crazy. Let's do this. Oh, wow. Am I the worst that's ever done it? Maybe. It is a possibility. But, yeah. The spring Can you shoot a shell? Maybe? Okay, you're shooting a shell now. There we go. Yeah, the Spring Nintendo Music playlist is very, very nice. I don't remember what the last track I was listening to. Oh, it was a Nintendogs track. It was the Nintendogs track for when you're walking your dog. There's like this, and I just gotta say, because this just reminded me of this, there's like this really, I don't want to say goofy sample at the very beginning of the song where it's a very bit crushed like dog woof. Like they really just, they didn't even try and like synthesize it. They really just took a dog sample and really downsampled it. I mean, like they really downsampled it. Okay, so hey, theoretically, if we wanted to, we could go ahead and do the boss for the Fountain Dome. We're not doing that. We're at 15 minutes. I'm kind of curious. What is the last? What is the last one? We can do this, right? We could. I think we could do this. Maybe. Ooh, that's gonna be a weird one, but I think we could do it. There's like that part of my brain that's like, no. Do I want to tease you guys and only make it 3 in an episode? No. Listen, I think unless we truly get caught up on something, that just won't really happen for a bit. I guess this is just not going to be as long of a Let's Play as I was thinking. But, believe it or not, we actually have another boss battle to do. And, we gotta fight these weird hairy spider dudes. Very funny enemy. It'd be kind of nice if they brought them back in some way, shape, or form. I don't really know why I feel like I need them back, but they're quirky. I mean, look at them, bro. Look at them. They're just silly little guys. They're just spinning, doing their thing. Now, I will tell you guys, the Terran Talks boss fight, it is a doozy. I think it's going to be a lot easier when you're, like, honestly, if you're on emulator and you're not using a proper pointer, bro, you are in for a doozy. Well, you know, well, it's just, all right, well, I didn't fall completely down, pretty much just entirely down. Oh, no. Fellas, I also got to tell you, yesterday I didn't do anything with retro achievements. I know that seems like a crime. I've done something horrible. I think you are going to have relevancy. Maybe next episode. Not this episode, but next episode. But, yeah, I haven't done anything with retro achievements. I've thought about pulling out a side game alongside Mario Kart DS. I know technically Mario Kart DS is my side game to the stuff I'm doing with, Mario Advance Yoshi's Island, but honestly, dude, it's like, I don't want to say that Mario Advance Yoshi's Island isn't going to get finished, but I do think it's not going to be as heavily focused on, right? I don't think it's going to be very heavily focused on. I think Mario Kart DS is more of my priority game that I'm working on, if you will, and that's okay, man. There we go. I just feel like I have to get every... You know what? You don't even get... I don't even want star bits out of that. So, there's basically these quirky little things where you gotta... Okay. You basically have to shoot Mario and propel him into a certain direction. Okay. So, this is proving to be a little more... I have to angle myself a little more than I was thinking. Do this for fun. Ah. Yeah, so... You literally gotta, like, aim yourself over. Again, quirky mechanics like this are what makes me really wish that, like, you know, makes me really wish that, like, Galaxy came back, man. Because, like, here's the thing as well. Even when they kind of simplified the formula... Hold up. I actually... That's not gonna kill me, right? Okay, I was just making... I want the red mushroom. Is that gonna be a problem? Ooh, you're gonna make it a problem, aren't you? It's right over here, bro. Like, I just wanted to get it. You know, I'm feeling a lot more explorative compared to when I typically play this game. I just feel like it feels natural to be more explorative about this game on a Let's Play. Okay, cool. And then you got one up here. So we're gonna shoot ourselves over here. And then we got this quirky area. This boss fight's a doozy, man. So this is Tarantox. Basically, his whole shtick is we have to get the big green things on him. I don't remember if it's a thing of you only need to get... Huh! Okay. Yeah, I think you have to get all of the green things on him. Oh, no. You have to get the back one, and then he flips over, and you have to get the little red button things. I've always thought in my brain that there's been part of me that's like, oh man, you should be able to like get 2 of them in one go, but no, you can't. You can kind of like keep him somewhat stun locked though, like that. If that was on emulator, dude, I couldn't do it. Straight up. If that was on emulator, I would have struggled to do that. Okay. I'm just gonna follow the path here. Hello. Ah, give me my cursor back. Hello. Oh, don't shoot. What? Wait, can I have Toad? Alright. Wait. Oh, okay. They don't really care if... I thought the backside would only work if he was actively stunned. Crazy misalignment, dude. Good. You love to see it. I think we can just get him here, bro. Yeah, you would be very surprised how difficult that is. You would be very surprised to know how difficult that sequence is on an emulator if you're not using like a real pointer and you're using like a right joystick sort of pointer, bro. It's just not good. It's not good at all. Mario also looks very glowing in this area. I've just got to say, he looks very glowing in this area. Good on you, Mr. Mario. Cool. Okay, so that wasn't too bad at all. That was pretty much the entirety of Space Junk Galaxy for now. Space Junk Galaxy, I gotta say, it's one of those galaxies that people really love. Specifically, it's one of those, like, you praise it for the music, right? Oh, hey, the Hungry Luma showed up, for this dome. Of course, we will not do that until the end of... Probably, basically, the end of the Fountain Dome. But, for now, fellas... That is going to do it for this episode of Super Mario Galaxy Part 5. Hey, good progress again today. 4 stars again. I am almost inclined to believe this is going to be more of like a 30 or 35-ish parter sort of series, and that's okay. That's okay. Ultimately, you know what I do know is that Galaxy 2 is going to beat Jamboree. Galaxy 2 is going to beat Jamboree. Now, as to if something is going to beat Jamboree in between the time that we finish this Let's Play and then get to Galaxy 2, I don't know. Something else might be Jamboree, and then we've got to beat that. But the goal is, I guess, if anything, not really to focus so much on making these as long as possible. It's to just have a good time. Go with the flow, you know? If I can meet certain things within a 20-minute time frame, then hey, we're chilling. But yeah, good progress today. Yeah, in the next episode, we're going to continue doing the stuff that we got to do in the Fountain Dome. I don't really remember. Oh, I do remember the next galaxy. I'm not going to say it, but I do remember what it is, and we're going to start on that galaxy and maybe be able to clear through all of that next episode. So, who knows? Only time will tell. Anyways, fellas, that's going to do it for this episode of Super Mario Galaxy. Fellas, if you enjoyed this video, maybe, I'm not going back, maybe like, comment, subscribe, and I will see you, fellas, in the next video. Bye-bye, guys!